All costumes ready? Actors ready?
All dead people.
1, 2, 3, action.
This is the place, there, where the torch doth burn.
The ground is bloody. Search the churchyard. Pitiful sight. Here lies the county slain, and Juliet, bleeding, warm, and newly dead. Who here hath lain these 2 days buried? Go tell the prince. Run to the Capulets. Raise up the Montagues.
Here is a friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took this mattock and the spade from him as he was coming from this churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
What misadventure so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest?
What should it be that they so shriek abroad? The people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry towards our monument.
What fear is this, which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Search, seek, now have this foul murder comes.
Here is a friar, and slaughtered Romeo's man, with instruments upon them, fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Oh, heavens! Oh, wife, look how our daughter bleeds! This dagger hath mistaken, for lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague, and is missheathed in my daughter's bosom. Oh me, the sight of death is a bell that warns my old age to a speculator.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up, to see thy son and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
O thou, untaught, what manners is in this, to press before thy fathers to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can know their true descent. And then I will be general of your woes, and lead you to even death. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the most suspected, as the time and place doth make against this strifeful murder.
And here I stand, both to impeach and purge, myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say at once what thou dost know in this.
I will be brief. Romeo, their dead, was a husband to that Juliet, and she, their dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose ultimately death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pinned you to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed, and would have married her perforce to County Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some men to rid her from this second marriage, or in my cell there which she killed herself.
Then I gave her, so toward my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wronged her. The form of death, meantime, I writ to Romeo, that he should hither come to die this night, to help take her from borrowed grave. Being the time the potion's force should cease, but he which bore my letter, Friar John, was saved by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back, when all alone at the prefix hour of her waking, came I to take her from the kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely to myself, till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her waking, here ultimately lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead.
She wakes, and I entreated her come forth, and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but as it seems did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage, her nurses privy, and if aught in this miscarry by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before his time, unto the rigor and service law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and then in post he came from Mantua, to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death, going in the vault. I departed not and left him there.
Give me the letter. I will look on it. Where's the county's page that raised the watch? Cyril, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof. And so I did. Anon comes with one light to ope the tome, and by my master drew on him, and then I ran away to call the watch.
This letter doth make the friar's worth, and here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate. That heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking on your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointer, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold. That while Verona, that their name is known, there shall no figure be such rate as set as the true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's be his lady's lie, poor sacrifices of her enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.